guys, welcome back to a new YouTube video. My name's Jake, this is Hooked on TV, and today in this video I am going to be showing you every rod and reel I use on a day-to-day basis of fishing. Okay, let's talk about from tuna to fishing with fucking bait and live bait and jigs and everything you want to know. Okay, so let's get straight to it. And by the way guys, this video is sponsored to you by JLC Lures. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and check out their website. Make sure to like and subscribe to me. Like this video, subscribe to me, switch on the alerts, and yeah guys, let's get to it. Okay guys, so first, I want to show you what I use for bluefin tuna. Okay, this is basically what I use for the big boys. This is a Tiagra 130 Shimano. Okay, it's a beast of a reel, as you guys know. For those of you who do know, this is what we use to catch big bluefin tuna trolling. Okay, with the rod Maguro. Very, very thick rod. Check it out. Really, really, really thick. This is what I use for. This is my 130 pound setup for bluefin tuna. Okay, this is what I use for trolling. On this side here, this is my, you could say, live bait, deep sea live bait, and popping. The setup that I have here right now on it is like a 0.45 braid. Okay, and this is what I use for popping, like when there's when the tunas are quite small, and I don't really feel like taking the Stellas out and all that, and this I can basically use it for whatever I want. I normally tend to take this with me wherever I go. Here we have a Stella 20,000. It's a bit beat up. This is the one I use the most. As you can see, it has a tuned knob, tuned handle. This is what I use for bigger boys, for tuna. This is really beat up. It's the one I use the most. This reel has at least 8-9 years. That's how old this reel is, and still going strong. What else do I use? I also have here the Daiwa 18,000 Saltiga. This is brand new. It's maybe a year old. Barely used it. I'm not really a Daiwa fan. Sorry guys. But yeah. Usually I take this one and a Stella 20,000. I take a Saltiga 18,000 and a Stella 20,000 for my fishing, popping for bluefin tuna. Those are my top two which I have with me. And as I say, I have two of these as well, but these I use it more on a daily, like I'll carry it with me just in case, but if I know there's tuna for sure, I'll take these two with me. Which obviously these two are much better than this one, but these two have a bit more quality, they hold more weight, it's much stronger than this, if you know what I mean. Okay. Now rods for bluefin tuna. When there's small tuna, let's say about 50 kilos down, this is what I'm using. The Tuna Pro 2 by M&W. I would use this rod with any of the popping reels, really. Whether it be the Stella, the Daiwa, or the Spheros 20,000. This one has a length of 2.52 meters a lure weight from 60 to 180 grams, and PE max 8, drag 15 kilos, 60 degrees. It's a pretty good rod. It's really nice, don't get me wrong. You can see in one of the videos on my channel, you can see where I literally have a tuna on strike. When there's bigger tuna around, this is what I'm using. 300-pound class. This is a salty water tackle monster ledge 300. This rod is much more expensive than this rod. Of course, the different types of materials, and obviously this one 15 kilo max drag, 60 degrees, and this one is a 15 kilo max drag. This one is a PE10, PE12, okay, 140 grams to 260 grams. Lure fighting, drag 15 kilo max, drag 20 kilo, 45 degrees. So Monster Ledge 300 is a very, very thick rod. This is not something that you would take with you and fish all day with this. It's pretty uncomfortable, but obviously if the fish are there, this is what you're going to want to use when you get big, I mean big bluefin tuna. This is something that you would use when there's not such big bluefin tuna and you want to enjoy the fishing, which is more flexible. It's not as stiff. This one's very flexible, and this one's more like a golf stick. So yeah, guys. Now what do I use for live bait? This is what I use for live bait for bluefin tuna. This is a real setup here that I would use basically if I was taking maybe my light game of popping rod, the Tuna Pro, and I'll take this small one with me, Shimano 30W, okay, with the Tiagra rod, stand up, Shimano stand up, 3050R. See it there. It's a very good rod, don't get me wrong. This is one that we would use for live bait when you say with the circle hooks and there's tuna around, small ones. This is a great fun. Basically put it on your harness, clip it on, and fight standing up. It's really cool. Really enjoy it with this. Now let's go on to spinning. This is a cheap setup, as in the reel. This reel is very cheap, cost me like 80 pounds. Okay, it's a Socorro, Shimano Socorro 5000, I think. Yeah, 5000. This is something that I use basically for spinning with a Zagan rod. It's a 50 to 90 gram lure weight and PE4. It's by Zen XEA. It has a max drag of 10 kilos. Okay. It's a very nice setup, not gonna lie. Cast game. Very cool. Let's say here we have 80 pounds and here I think we have 260 pounds, more or less, something like that. This is this setup here, okay, it's a Commander 20 LW. It's a pen, old school. This is what I would use for basically fishing with fillets and just like bait, clams, mussels, you know. Ugly stick, Shakespeare. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this to focus. Action medium heavy, 10 to 25 pounds. It's a nice rod and reel. Look, very short as well. When you're looking to fish with fillets or bait, I would use this. You know, it's not going to be such a rough day out. Just anchor up, throw this in. Not too sure how much this cost, this reel, but I think this rod cost about £100. And now we're going to my babies. These are, I could say, the ones I use the most. Okay, here I have Stella 8000, Giga. Which one's this? This one is Giga 1501 PG. And here we have a Penn Battle 8000, no, Penn Battle 6000. And then we have a Stella 10,000. Okay, let me explain here more or less. This setup, the 8000 of the Stella, basically has line 028 braid. Okay. And here I have the Pandora, the famous Pandora MK3, slow jigging S63 6SP. This rod, the length is 1m91, lure weight 150, 300 grams, and line PE 2 to 5. This rod and reel is what I use for either jigging or live bait. Remember, jigging or live bait with 028 braid. Okay. Mainly jigging and live bait for Dentex, grouper, all that. You can imagine I catch with this rod and reel. Next, this is what I would use for, let's say, tie rubbers in chicos, sliders, vinyl lures, and all that type of stuff. It's again a Pandora MK2. It's a little bit harder, okay, than the MK3. The length is the same, 191. The lure weight is 100 to 200 grams, and the line PE 1.5 to 4. This is, like I said, guys, this one has a line of 0.20, braid 0.20, Daiwa, I think, no, it's J braid times 8. And this is what I use for, like, let's say depth from 50 meters, 50 to 130 meters. That's what I use for mainly tie rubbers in chicos and vinyls, like I said. Now this one over here is more or less the same like the Stella 8000. This is a more, the line's a little bit thinner, and I basically use it for the same thing. The rod is a Sea Lion SS. The length is 1m80, and the lure gram is 80 to 200. PE 124. Like I said, this is a cheaperish setup, what we use for live bait and jigging. Here is more. Here is more like the King Kong. This is very, very strong, this setup here. Stella 10,000 with braid 0.35, quite thick. M&W. This one is so I can get it here for you. Model SS, and it has here lure weight 150 to 300 grams and PE 3 to 6. This rod, trust me, it is super strong. Like, honestly, is very, very strong. Plus the reel, here you have a good setup. Here you can more or less estimate just in the rod and reel roughly like 1,000. I think the reel is like, let's say 650, the rod's about 500. So there you go. It's a very expensive setup here. This is mainly for live bait, not live bait tuna, but live bait as in big groupers, amberjack, big red snapper, that type of stuff. Next, this is what you guys have probably seen in one of my videos. This is the Saltist 8000 LTD with a braid of 0.50 and another rod of Zagan. This is the vertical velocity, and basically this is what I use for live bait for tuna. It's a very, very stiff rod. It's another hockey stick, and basically the size of this reel, look at the size. It's an 8 and a 10,000. 10,000 Stella, 8,000 Saltist. Look at the size. This is what I would mainly use for, again, for just tuna, or maybe big groupers. I think the reel cost 360 and the rod cost as well 310 or 280. It's a good one there as well. And last but not least, the electric reel, Tanacom 1000. This is what I use basically for deep sea, for like the black belly rosefish, maybe some groupers down there, and other breams that we can find in the deep waters of Gibraltar. I have it here with another rod of Tiagra, Shimano Tiagra 3050 is what I use for the live for deep sea. Sorry, it's a very, very good reel and rod setup for deep sea. Anyway, guys, there you go. I've basically shown you all my equipment, what I use on a day-to-day basis of fishing, on what I'm gonna do and with what I'm gonna use. Okay, so basically, if you want to know anything else, just let me know down in the comments and I'll show you in another video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys know more or less now what I use and what I use it for. Okay, so thank you guys. Like this video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what else you want to see. Pandora!